fans, welcome back to the Fanvestor Report. I'm your host, Jezlan Moyet, and this is a weekly podcast covering the business of celebrity that fans want in on. This week, well, money talks in multiple languages, and it's unsugar-coated. This week, we're talking alternative currencies, the crypto craze, and powerful stories that act as currency for social change. We're also covering the women taking the lead from the tequila of the 818 to key roles in front of and behind the camera. In today's episode, we have an interview with Chyna Robinson, featured as the 2020 American Black Film Festival's and most recognized South by Southwest female filmmaker to watch. Her latest film, No Ordinary Love, will be released this June on multiple on-demand platforms, and USA Today is calling it one of the biggest films of the summer. We will also have multiple award-winning novelist and executive producer, the founder of Unsugar-Coated Media, Aalia Lanius, with us in studio today. Well, fans and Bitcoin believers have descended on Miami last weekend to party and preach the meme stock gospel and craze. Bitcoin's 2021, the largest event in history, happened, and the crypto craze is contagious. In recent news, China has banned financial institutions and payment companies from providing services related to cryptocurrency transactions. They say crypto holds no real value. But do we agree? China says these prices are easily manipulated and aren't protected by Chinese law. So fans, what's your take on cryptocurrency? It is undeniable that Hollywood has a unique ability to create market structure arbitrage. In fact, that was the title of the first keynote speech I ever gave in Miami. It was to a group of family offices and elite RIAs, otherwise known as registered investment advisors. I shared how the power of media and celebrity can dramatically affect stock prices and volatility. Well, voila, that's exactly what's happening. Prices have been going up and down recently due to Elon Musk and Twitter. Bitcoin payment was pulled from Tesla, and this past month, in May, Bitcoin has seen its highest monthly decrease of 35.5%. And despite the drop, the undertone of the crypto crazers is this: rebellion. Rebellion against the existing financial system. For some, Bitcoin is hope. Tom, that is busy buying the dip, according to Twitter, and other celebs are creating everything into an NFT. It can be hard for some fans to grasp and open their wallets to the idea of NFTs. So, what are NFTs? Non-fungible tokens are collectible digital assets. They hold the same value as cryptocurrency, but in the face of art. Keyword for many fans: collectible. Sotheby's auction house just announced that they will be auctioning off the first ever known NFT. The name of the piece is called Quantum by artist Kevin McCoy, who created it in early 2014. This NFT was certified as a non-fungible token before the term even came to exist. Other pieces like this NFT have sold for $60 million. Many fans believe this is just the beginning of the NFT world. In 10 years, looking back, in fact, these are going to grow. This piece can represent and symbolize the art of something quite revolutionary and very impactful, according to Max Moore, the vice president of contemporary art at Sotheby's in New York. Fanvestor is busy gearing up to allow for fans to buy, sell, and trade on its platform, but in the meantime, MLB, Major League Baseball, and other fanatics have stepped into the NFT game by releasing a Lou Gehrig NFT to honor his luckiest man speech. The companies struck a deal together with a new company known as Digital Candy Digital, who will be running the NFTs for them. Entrepreneur Gary Vee has taken the lead on this product, and only one NFT will be released during this event, which makes it super limited. Proceeds from the event will go to multiple ALS charities, and baseball fans have showed their love for memorabilia. Who doesn't leave after 7 innings with a Dodger dog and merch? It's not just me, right? So, question for the fans: who would you guys like to see next for the MLB NFT collection? If baseball isn't your game, fans can invest in other celeb athletes with NFTs, like the following. Rob Gronkowski's 4 limited edition NFTs. Each are a unique piece of memorabilia, digitally hand-signed and numbered by Gronk himself. And then there's the Tony Hawk NFT. It's his film of the last time he performed the Ollie 540, a trick he mastered 32 years ago. Steve Aoki with digital artist DJ released the NFT collection Neon Future with 5 new tracks. Snoop Dogg's NFTs, a collection called A Journey with the Dog. It unites Snoop's memories of years of art, and original tracks portion of the proceeds will go to young emerging artists in the crypto space and Snoop's Youth Football League. Louis Capaldi NFT includes a holographic collectible characters based off of 6 humorous versions of Capaldi. Perks available also include physical versions of cards, tickets, giveaways, and a chance to join him in the studio while he writes his upcoming album. Is it just me, or the perks the best part of this? Lindsay Lohan also released an NFT with her single Lullaby as an NFT. It comes with visuals that promise a never-before experience. One can only guess. Paris Hilton collaborated with the designer Black Catherine to launch her own brand of NFTs featuring 3 unique pieces of art. And that cat poster, Jack Dorsey's first tweet ever, just setting up my Twitter, sold this week for $2.9 million. Dorsey also doubled down on his commitment to the crypto craze, telling CNBC, "If I were not at Square or Twitter, I'd be working on Bitcoin." Jack, I hear you. Thanks for the tweet. And like Dorsey's commitment to crypto, our first guest, Chyna Robinson, is committed to changing the system by telling compelling stories with women in key roles in front of and behind the camera. Robinson was featured at the 2020 American Black Film Festival and recognized at South by Southwest as a female filmmaker to watch. She's now releasing her new film, No Ordinary Love. Stay tuned for our interview with Chyna Robinson. Welcome back to the Fanvestor Report. As the summer movie season is heating up, we're excited to welcome breakout director Chyna Robinson to the show. Hi, Chyna.
Hello. How are you?
I am so excited for you. Congratulations, by the way. We heard that USA Today named No Ordinary Love one of the biggest films of the summer.
Yes. How exciting.
What was it like for you?
In that list.
I mean, when you woke up and saw that news.
Yeah, I probably would have done cartwheels had I not been in pajamas and, my eyes half open. So I was thrilled. The whole team, we were all so excited to be a part of that list.
What do you think it is about this film specifically that has made it become the festival darling that it is?
You know what? I think it just really resonates with the audience. We've had so many people come up to us afterward or email or text or reach out in some way and say, I was that character. I am that's my story. They were really able to get into it. And if they didn't see themselves or someone they knew, they just enjoyed the roller coaster ride. There's everything in this film.
Well, some of the critics are saying that it is a very intense thriller, but you've really navigated exploring, a topic that resonates with a very widespread audience, but is so rarely talked about. Tell us a little bit about navigating that as a director.
Yeah, well, we knew from picking the project up, I knew that it was going to be what we all call like a hard sell. So talking about toxic relationships, dangerous relationships, intimate partner violence, control, all of those things can be hard. Because audiences are not really running to see those types of movies. So the way that I wrote it was a romantic thriller. And that way we had the romance and the love, but then we also had the thriller aspect, the danger and the intensity. And we just kind of wove those things together.
Let's take a look at the trailer for No Ordinary Love.
Sierra and Frankie ran past their father to open the door, letting wonderful smells of sweet potato pies, glazed ham. What are you doing here?
Where else would I be, Sweet Pea?
Shadows in the sky, footsteps in the night behind me.
I ran into a church member this morning. I'm concerned.
Targets in their sight.
Come sit down.
Running out of life.
You can't be here.
To save me.
Did she tell you what happened?
Yeah, it's her husband.
Red moon on the rise. You say your last good night.
respect you show a man, the more love he will give in return.
You trust me? We could be happy.
It's going to be in their best interest for both of them if she's as obedient to him as possible while he's going through this phase.
Why do you keep testing me?
Remember when I bought this piano?
Patient,
When I taught you how to play?
gentle. I just can't figure out what I did to change him so much.
I can't just walk out on a marriage.
If his heart changes, well, then that's a win for her and for the kingdom.
He'll get there.
Praise God.
We could be a perfect team.
You're not going anywhere.
It will never happen again.
You killed my wife!
Get out of my house!
This is my damn house!
I mean, I wasn't in danger. I didn't even scream for help.
I won't lie. The most dangerous time will be when you try to leave.
I loved you with everything I had loved someone. And there's just nothing left.
Don't be so serious. I'm just cleaning them.
Oh my God. I have chills, Chyna. Okay, so tell us a little bit about choosing the cast specifically and why these women so powerfully resonate with the audience.
Yeah, in the casting process, I probably saw in person over 100 people for the 4 main roles. And these 4, the 4 that got it, these are just like, they played these parts so well. They were so believable and they really tapped into it. The guys, the 2 leading guys, they're really amazing people, even though, you know, at the end of the movie, you're looking for them. But they're great guys, genuine guys, but they just made the decision to believe in their characters so that they could play them well. And the women, Deanna Davis, who plays Tanya, the wife of the police officer, this was her first feature. She is a model and, you know, and so many other things, a model coach and all of that. But she blew us all away. She was so good and so believable in this role.
I'm really curious, Chyna, you know, as females have really risen to the occasion, right? I mean, Oscar award-winning directors now, and there's been such change in such a short time. And I know you're really championing for females, both in front and behind the lens. What's your experience been like in navigating the entertainment industry in Hollywood?
Well, you know, females are usually the last on the list for funding, for opportunity. And so now that we're starting to see a little of that shift, I'm excited about the change. We have a long way to go, but I do like that we are starting to see a little more of that, you know, of the funding given to women, the opportunity and women being put on the forefront. For me, as an indie filmmaker, every opportunity I have to hire a female crew member or, you know, to put women in front of the camera in key roles, I absolutely do that. I think it's important that we're all able to tell our story that reflects the actual world we lived in.
Absolutely. And, you know, we can totally appreciate that. It's interesting that you mentioned funding several times because being that we are Fanvestor, really the business of celebrity and entertainment is our ethos, right? So tell us a little bit about that experience in raising funds as an independent filmmaker. What is that like for you? And maybe what can fans look for in investing in an entertainment project, in an independent film?
Well, for me, it was being creative. You know, no one, especially, you know, I'm in Texas, so there's not a ton. There's a lot of talent, but there's not a ton of big film being made. So you're either having to find investors or people, you know, you just really have to be creative and make them believe in the story that you're telling and believe that you can get it done. So when I did my first short, I had done stage prior to, and I was able to save some of that money. And I just funded my short film myself with the hope that if I do this well enough, I can make someone a believer. And when I get ready to do my first feature, I'll have that private funding in place or close to. And so that's basically what I was able to do. some people believed in me. My executive producer for this particular film, she believed, and she was, she hopped on, and we found funding, and she found, of course, the bulk of the funding, and we got it done. And so I think that's really important. Find somebody else who, believes in what you're doing and that wants the same thing.
Absolutely. Here at Fanvestor, we've coined the term invest with heart, right? So choosing, somebody who really believes in you, who understands the heart of the film and the people who are making it is so vital to the success, and obviously has certainly contributed to the success of No Ordinary Love. Tell fans again where they can find, follow, support you, and of course see the film.
Sure. So the film will be released on June 15th on platforms internationally. So UK, Australia, Canada, United States, and we're Amazon Prime, Apple iTunes, Apple TV, Google Play, Dish, and several other platforms. All of those will be on our social media and website. So our website is noordinarylovemovie.com. And it's the same for Facebook and Instagram, No Ordinary Love Movie. And Twitter is NOL Movie. And I'm linked into all of those sites.
Well, thank you so much, Chyna. We're so excited for you. Congratulations on the success. Again, fans, be sure to check out No Ordinary Love, streaming to you June 15th. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Fanvestor. In other major media news, Amazon shelled out over $8 billion to acquire MGM. Bezos meets James Bond. Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer was the last standing major independent movie studio, and its library of content holds fan favorites like the Bond series, Wizard of Oz, Rocky Balboa, Stargate, Creed. The list goes on and on. This was much more, though, than a quick media grab for content. It's about keeping up, and not with the Kardashians. For Amazon to scale and compete with Netflix and Disney, well, this was the move. So, could fans possibly skip their annual Mickey Mouse vacation and opt in for a trip to Amazon World in the future? It could happen. With its new collection of IP, maybe Amazon will follow in the footsteps of other media giants who remain nameless. We can only imagine the amount of digital collectibles and souvenirs that could be branded and sold on what already exists as the world's largest online marketplace, Amazon World. So we polled the fans to gauge their MGM favorites. Bond versus Rocky. Drum roll, please. Johnny Vegas, who do you think it is?
I'm gonna have to go with Rocky.
We know where his money went. Bond is the winner. The fans have spoken. I'm a Bond girl myself. Actually, I'm not a Bond girl, but I would like to be. So if any casting directors hear this, yes, sign me up. Okay, drumroll please. Fans, Pink Panther versus Legally Blonde. Johnny Vegas, who do you think the fan winner is?
Legally Blonde.
Now, if it was up to me, I would totally bend and snap right along with you. However, the winner is Pink Panther. The fans seem to love it, and now, of course, their favorites are going to be on Amazon. So do you feel Amazon is a good home for MGM? Fans, what do you think? Apparently, when polled, they agree. Coming up next in studio, media mogul, multiple award-winning novelist, and executive producer that keeps it unsugar-coated, Aalia Lanius. Her mission? To create content that humanizes others by sharing powerful stories that act as currency for social change. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in to the Fanvestor Report. And now a quick word from one of our sponsors. To the Fanvestor Report. This week's episode is all about alternative currency. And today our guest is specializing in just that, the currency for social change, with Unsugarcoated Media founder, Aalia Lanius. Hi, Aalia.
Hi.
Thank you so much for being with us today. So tell us, what is Unsugarcoated Media?
Unsugarcoated Media is a 501c3 media production company. We seek to create social impact through storytelling. We believe that the stories and being able to humanize one another and share those experiences empower our communities actually turns into social currency. And we need that. We need that more than ever now. So.
Well, we know that you've mastered that, though, yourself. You're an award-winning novelist. How did you get to the point you are now in recognizing that you can create that currency for social change through your art, through your writing, really?
The first step for me was deciding that I was ready to tell my personal story. I did that in a book. That's how Unsugarcoated Media started. I decided that as a creative, I could both tell a story and have a social impact message within it. So every book that I personally write as a novelist has a social message in it. What I found and started receiving was messages on how that was creating that impact, how people were making changes in their own lives based on what I had shared. The key is, though, my story is not the only one who can empower others, and I became fascinated with finding a way to use Unsugarcoated Media to do that. And so, yeah, that's how it started.
So how are you doing that? How are you tapping into kind of the hearts and the minds of these storytellers so that they can share that message, they can create that impact? Because it's not easy.
No, it's not. In fact, it's a delicate dance, because some people that we speak to or decide to collaborate, and we do it in a variety of ways right now. We have our podcast, we have a series of social good shorts, which are literally about 5-minute documentaries, documentary style, as well as feature articles. And not, some people, they've been telling their story, they're very good at it, and some, we're just bringing that out of them. We're getting them to tell their story for the first time so that they can empower people on the level that we're doing it. And, it's about, how it starts out is just recognizing that has power. That is, we go back to that comment of social digital currency. And it's interesting because I think a lot of people don't realize we are curating content now. Everyone who has an Instagram, you're curating content, whether you realize it or not. And while there's so many people out there who are sharing their story, we come along and say, we want to help you refine this. We want to help you tell it in a certain way, as opposed to just throwing it out there, right? And it's just been an amazing journey, to be quite honest, Jezlan, and helping them, empowering them, being voices for the voiceless, letting people know the issues that we can talk about and the different ways that we can humanize one another in sharing them, to be quite honest.
What stories have resonated with you the most?
Okay, there's one. We're about to release it very shortly, and it's on generational child abuse. Every time I watch it, it makes me cry, because I relate. Even as a creative, I relate to a lot of the stories that we're talking about, and to have the opportunity to work with a woman who was abused by her, abused by her family, not recognizing that it was abuse, and then grow up and unfortunately abuse her own children, thinking this is what I'm doing because this is what was done to me. And very delicately enabling her to tell her story, be vulnerable, but then show the world that by sharing her story, it's actually empowering others. And I keep saying that word because it carries a lot of weight, and I think a lot of people use it without fully understanding what it means. And so, for example, for this woman to sit there and be so vulnerable, to tell her story and not be judged, and for us to have the opportunity to share it and then show how she's grown, and how now by going back to her child and saying and asking for forgiveness. I went through something very, very similar to that. And so that's actually been one of my favorites so far. There's really too many to go into, but that I would say most recently, especially because it's the social good short and it's something we're really moving into, it makes me cry, because I know that it impacts me, so I know that it's going to impact someone else.
So why now? Why now for this currency of social change and content?
So when I launched Unsugarcoated Media in 2019, it was a very interesting thing. People would say, who's your target demographic? I would say survivors of trauma. And I would always kind of get this look, because it was broad, and it was, but for some reason on my heart, I'm not kidding, Jezlan, that's what I felt I'm serving. That's the community that I'm serving. My own personal background has a lot of trauma, multiple. So I couldn't just hone in on one. So then 2020 happened. And to be quite frank, we have all collectively gone through a collective trauma.
Absolutely.
And, whether it was finances, whether it was fear of losing your job, whether it was people who passed away in your family, fear of being sick, all these challenges.
Loneliness.
Exactly. Isolation. And that's part of what we want to do with that. And social digital currency, it's an exchange, right? There's a lot of people that come to me, they have companies, they're like, how can I grow my brand? And I'm going on Instagram or I'm going on social media and I'm telling people what we're doing. My question is, okay, but what are you giving back to the community? Where are you going and creating this engagement? Because that is what social digital currency is, right? So why now, with regards to what we've all gone through, more than ever, we need to have these conversations. So we speak to addiction and recovery. We speak to transformation through trauma. We speak to disabilities as well as abilities, and things that we can do. And I mean, I'm all about, people fall down, but you get back up, because down there's not where you belong. So I feel like now more than ever, people really need to have hope. They need to know that there is, light in the dark. And I feel that, as an organization, collectively, we can show the world what we can do through that. We can showcase that through our content.
And you absolutely do. Undoubtedly, at Fanvestor we talk a lot about investing, right? And it doesn't have to be investing with your money. It can be investing with your heart, your time. What is it that you hope that you can really have your audience invest in with Unsugarcoated?
I mean, I have to go back to the words of humanizing, ending isolation, and building community. There's too many people. I have this saying, what divides us is an illusion. What divides us is an illusion, and I feel that more than ever we need the community. We need to understand each other better, and if by creating this content and giving people a look into something different that perhaps they don't understand, that is powerful. That can create healing. And, ultimately that's what I want to be known for, creating healing and understanding through the content we produce. So, yeah.
Well, you've done so much so successfully, from being a novelist, award-nominated podcast, content creator on Sugarcoated Media, as a mogul. What is it that you have, whether it be a characteristic or a mentor, that's really led to your success?
Right now, honestly, especially in this space, so I've been a businesswoman for a long time. I started my first business at 22 years old, my first company at 25 years old, sold that when I was 28, and then kind of went into different
Boss
ones.
move! You sold your first company before you were 30 years old.
Yes, and I'm quite proud of that because, and I was always ready, I kind of get involved in a project, and then when it's time to let it go and move on to something else, I'm ready for that, right? But in this particular case, stepping into my artistic and creative capabilities, but then also the media, I cannot lie. I have two incredible people that really have supported me through this journey. One of them happens to be Larry Namer, the co-founder of E! He's such an, he's the person that I can call up and say, what should I be doing? What are the things that I can do that can create the most impact? And he's willing to give me that support. Another one of our recent advisory board members that I'm very proud to have on and give me that mentorship, because we all can use it, is his name is Tony Pizarro, an amazing person and an incredible music producer in that space. People who know his name know how valuable, and so his wisdom and guidance has been invaluable in this process. And those are the people that I see helping us really take it to the next level, because we're only getting started. Like, I can assure you, we are only getting started.
Well, I often say your network is your net worth, but clearly you've enabled yourself as a businesswoman beyond just being an artist or having a big heart, which is really hard to do, right? A lot of people have a hard time when it comes to, making a business out of what they're passionate about or driven to do. How do you navigate that so successfully?
So I think that passion is wonderful to have. And I mean, my passion is what keeps me going a lot. But I think there's often the mix-up between the passion and the purpose. So I focus on purposely doing things, purposely creating the impact, purposely creating revenue for our company so that we can move forward. I'm very specific. We are a 501c3 social enterprise. That means we're not just focused on creating content, we're also focused on creating revenue so that we can keep making that impact, right? Because without dollars, it won't make sense. Like, we can't do anything if we don't have finances.
Like it or not, money speaks.
Yes. So having that is, it's always a challenge, but it's worth it. And I'm just, I've been able to mix the two quite well. I mean, so far, so good.
So what's next for you in Unsugarcoated?
like I said earlier, we're ready to, we have a lot of things going on right now. I cannot even begin to tell you. We're about to release several social good shorts we've been producing in the background, more articles, more collaborations with incredible individuals doing incredible, big things in their communities, and small things too. Because it's not always focusing on the big ones, but also those small things that do create that social currency, the social digital currency that we need to see. And what's really next, honestly, sky's the limit. We have an amazing event that we will be bringing back, EmpowerCon. EmpowerCon was a one-day event that we hosted at the LA Convention Center in 2019. We were obviously put on hold for 2020. We're now really moving forward into doing that, and we just want people to stay tuned because we want them to be part of it. People that need it most, that's the people we want to touch. That's the people we want to reach.
Who empowers you the most?
That's a really good question. I love it. You know what? I'm going to have to say me, because I take the time to do it.
I love that.
It's me. I love everything around me. I'm inspired, but every day I have to get up and make that conscious decision that I'm going to seek. I focus on three things. My mindset. Do I have a limiting mindset? Do I have an unlimited mindset? Limited saying, well, I can't do this in media because I've never done it before, but I can learn. There's the unlimited saying there's no ceiling. I can do this. The second thing that I focus on is my skill set. What are the skills that I have to actually take this organization to the next level? And maybe what are some of the skills I need to refine so that I can do it better? And then the third part is the tool set, my toolkit. When things do go crazy, instead of focusing on the problem, what do I have in my tool set to help me focus on the solution and get through that? Those three things are what I focus on to empower me every day, whether it's for my personal life or whether it's for my business life.
What are those tools you mentioned? Because I know it's beyond a pair of Louboutins or Valentinos,
it is,
which, if you could see the shoes on her feet, let me tell you, they are so good.
Well, thank you. I wear them for comfort, I promise. You know what? There's a couple things. I think that being focused on meditation, visualization, the energy that I keep around me. I have a very good friend who says, watch your energy at all costs.
Like you watch your wallet.
Yep. Watch that energy. And so how I do that, what's in my tool set is making sure, if I see something that's not good, take a time out from that and really focusing on how I can be the best version of myself every day as well. So yeah, through those things in my tool set, learning. I love reading. I love, I'm right now currently writing my third novel, which I'm very excited about. And so I love getting into the research and learning, and I have all these I'm like a Da Vinci. I have little hidden messages that are within my books.
I love that.
So that part's fun. But yeah, that is how I do it. That's what's in my tool set.
So crack the code for us. Can you give us a little sneak peek, Da Vinci? What's going to be in your next novel?
I will say this, as fantastic as the story is, it is all connected to climate. It is connected to how we are connected to this earth. I see us as leaves on a tree. And so though the story is going to have this fantastic, there will be a lot of things that are just, speak to our history, what we do know and what we don't know. So yeah, stay tuned.
What a way to bring it so full circle on the currency of social impact and change. Thank you so much for your time. Please remind all the fans how they can continue to follow and support you.
Well, please sign up for our newsletter at www.unsugarcoatedmedia.com and stay connected with me on Instagram, Aalia Lanius, or Aalia_unsugarcoated. And if you're on Clubhouse, we are building Club Unsugarcoated on there. We have an amazing, platform there doing incredible things. Many people can find me in the rooms, dropping gems, giving my time free of charge to just, again, create more social digital currency.
Thank you again for your time. Keep it here. We'll be back with more on Fanvestor. In other celebrity news, the 818 is more than just a Valley zip code. That's right, Kendall Jenner has launched her latest brand, 818 Tequila, but it is facing some backlash and cultural appropriation for a brand name that doesn't originate with Mexican culture. But she isn't the first celeb to launch a tequila. We all know George Clooney, Casamigos, Nick Jonas, Justin Timberlake. They've made a fortune from the spirit. Jenner fans are saying, well, maybe she's being unfairly criticized. Fans, what do you think? So, if you want to get in on the next mega celebrity brand, well, it's time to invest with heart. Fanvestor is an innovative digital crowdfunding platform. Think Star Engine meets E, where fans can support their favorite celebrities, fashion icons, media moguls, athletes, actors, entrepreneurs, and again, invest with heart. Fans can participate through investing in e-commerce auctions and get perks, one-of-a-kind experiences, and there's some auctions. Accredited and non-accredited fans can participate in equity crowdfunding projects, and soon Fanvestor will be introducing a NFT product line. And now though, you can actually invest in Fanvestor. Fanvestor is home to the recent launch of Amari Stoudemire's latest venture, Masa. Masa is a new collagen product available exclusively on Fanvestor. Amari is a 6-time NBA All-Star, Olympic bronze medalist, and most recently the 2020 MVP of the Israeli Championships. He is also an entrepreneur, an organic farmer, has a clothing line, and a series of children's books for Scholastic Press. The list goes on, and in his spare time, which I don't know how he has any, he is a winemaker and a player development coach at the Brooklyn Nets. So to keep up with all this, Masa, a new collagen supplement focusing on the active lifestyle, launched at Fanvestor. A portion of the proceeds go to the Amari Stoudemire Foundation, committed to helping at-risk youth with educational opportunities and financial literacy. Some of the perks and experiences also available at fanvestor.com include buying Masa with a limited edition Stoudemire hoodie, one-on-one game of NBA 2K with Amari, virtual round of boxing with Amari at Rumble Gym, dinner with Amari in New York prepared by his personal chef, and the best perk, a trip to Israel with Amari. He'll take you through a whole tour of the holy sites. Also now available, #HairDope, created by SuperDopeQ. This hair color brand includes hair brightener, pre-shampoo, hair juice, which is a semi-permanent dye, and hair sauce, a temporary wax. Hair color is now considered to be a fashion accessory, part of your outfit, personal style, and HairDope is inclusive to both wigs and natural hair with nourishing ingredients like olive oil, shea butter, argan oil, and keratin. The formulas are water-based, free of salt, parabens, and ammonia. And even more, it's vegan and cruelty-free. Fans can also get in on some super solid perks and experiences with SuperDopeQ. If you purchase the full HairDope set, it comes with a limited edition SuperDopeQ hoodie. You can also shop Q's closet and pick out an item from his closet that you want. You can also invest in a personal styling session on Zoom or a personal styling session and makeover by Q in Atlanta. How cool. The best perk? A trip to Black Ink Studio in Atlanta to get matching tattoos with your best friend or your boo. Well, that's it for this week's episode of Fanvestor Report. Thanks again for liking, sharing, and commenting below. We appreciate your support at Fanvestor. Remember to invest with heart.
Start it up.